Today we're going to do a deep dive on a YouTube channel for real estate that in 2021 did a total of $3.1 million of gross commissions, 100% from the YouTube channel. And they didn't spend one penny. I'm going to do a deep dive on it. I'm going to show you the 5 things that they have that made it so successful that you can start implementing into your channel immediately. And my name is Jackson Wilkie with the Channel Junkies. I do teach YouTube for real estate and have for many, many years. I give it all away 1,000% free. I teach you how to content market and get your dream clients all from video through YouTube. If you want to learn more on how to do that, make sure you tap that subscribe button and you click the bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. All right, so there's a few things that really makes up a successful real estate YouTube channel. Unfortunately, in the real estate world, we get thrown all of these ads and shiny objects about getting more views, more followers. But at the end of the day, the majority of those courses are being sold by people that don't even hold a real estate license. I have, debunked this myth for the past 3 years, and it took me about 12 to 14 months to actually start getting real reach outs and calls from my YouTube channel. In that time, I have now taught over 1,000 agents, if not more, exactly how to do the same thing. This is a channel that we're going to be taking a look at, though, that has taken it to the extreme. Again, in 2021, they did over $3.1 million in gross commissions from their real estate YouTube channel. It's just unbelievable. I've actually had the privilege of sharing the stage with these guys, and I also have been able to sit down and listen to not only the way that they have been able to create their brand and their consistency, but also what they do with all of these reach outs and buyers to close them. That's what's really important. But you need to understand when building out any kind of YouTube for real estate channel or a brand, there are 5 things that you absolutely must master. And we're going to dive into that right now. Here we are on the Living in Denver, Colorado, the Mile High Property Brothers. Will and Eli, about two and a half years ago, I was actually on their podcast and I got to talking about how I did YouTube for real estate, created these channels across the country, and they took it and ran with it. So I'm going to just completely dissect this channel so that you guys can see exactly what they did to be so successful. I have 11 real estate YouTube channels across the country in all different markets, and not one of them produces the amount of business as this one. So all combined, just looking at statistics and data, a lot of times, again, like I mentioned, we're going to focus in on view counts and followers and subscribers and say, that's what I want. I'd rather have $3.1 million in gross commissions in one freaking year. These guys are now millionaires. They both each made over $1 million from their YouTube channel. So when we come here, the first thing that I notice with a good channel is that I get exactly what I want when I land there. So when you come to their home screen or when you go to their channel, the very first thing that I notice is that it says Living in Denver. So immediately, if I was moving to Denver and I caught one of their videos and I happened to go to their channel, which they do, they want to creep you out, I better find out really quickly what that channel's about. This is something that, a lot of digital marketers and agents out there, they want to tell you, oh no, it's got to be all about you and your brand and your name and you. That's not it. I have figured this out through split testing and a lot of data and analytics studies to where when people go to a YouTube channel, they want to know immediately what they get. So right away, they get all of the information about Denver, Colorado. The second thing that I see right away when I go there, their last video was 4 days ago, 6 days ago, 11 days ago, 13 days ago, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 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 all the way if you just keep going, right? They are consistent. Consistency in YouTube pays off bigger than almost anything, as long as you are starting to leverage keywords and titles, which they are. A lot of the things that they have all have to do with Colorado or Denver, Colorado. And that is why they are coming up in search, in rankings. Whenever you search anything about Denver, they're being discovered. But YouTube loves consistency. I myself, creating 11 YouTube channels and teaching this for 3+ years with 500 videos, I'm not even as consistent as these guys, and it really shows. So again, when you look at the overall subscriber marks, I've got 3 different channels If I go to switch account here, where I've got more, I got 12,000, I've got 13,600, and I've got 11,600. So I've got 3 channels in general that have more subscribers, but don't do the commissions these guys do because of how consistent. Now, if I had just one channel, the very first channel that I ever created was, which is now living in Portland, Oregon. And if you see a channel across the country that is living in city state, I came up with that about 3 years ago, and it's because I realized we need to make all of our content about the city instead of about us. That living in Portland, Oregon channel that I created 3.5 years ago has closed over 200 homes. It's insane. In all totality, with all 11 channels, we've done just over 400 home sales from our YouTube channels, and we don't spend a dime. But if I were focusing on just one channel, it would be 2, 3, 4 videos every week. I would never miss it. But hey, to teach you guys exactly how to do this, I went out and explored the entire world in every market. So number 1, your channel has to be about your market, about your city. Number 2, you got to be consistent. The third thing is, what do you notice when you come to this channel? Their ugly mugs are all over it. And I love Will and Eli, and they'll let me call them ugly, even though they're not that bad of looking dudes. But they are everywhere. This is another thing I get fought on by everybody. Well, if I do this other thumbnail without me in it and the fiery crash and all that, I get higher click-through rates. And I'm like, cool. But at the end of the day, you're building a massive brand. If they're doing $3.1 million in sales from their YouTube channel, it means that people love these dudes. They are reaching out to them. Now, think about just you in general when you are on any kind of social media platform. There's times you're on it, you're watching something, then all of a sudden the kids go crazy, or dinner bell goes off, or something happens and you shut the platform off. You may not come back to it for a few hours, a few days, maybe a few weeks. But when you do come back, you're going to remember that face, right? This is another thing that early on, I really started getting consistent as I wasn't using my face in the thumbnails. I was trying to use these, really clickbaity ones. It wasn't building our brand. We weren't getting the reach out. So these guys are all over. And there's my 2-year-old right there. See, that's just a perfect example. You never know when you got to go. But they have red, white, black, their face. Typically, they're always on the same exact side. Maybe because Will thinks that this is his perfect side. This is building a brand you, right? There's no way that you go searching Denver stuff, don't see the red, the white, the black, and these 2 dudes, and if you like their videos, you not click on it. You're going to come back and click on these videos no matter what. So building out your brand a lot of times just has to do with the consistency. You will want to build your thumbnails and all of your channel art and everything really brand specific. If you would, and you have a real estate YouTube channel, will you comment down below how many closed sales have you had from your channel? And if you haven't had any closed sales yet, how many reach outs have you had? And also, if you're enjoying these videos, please do me a favor and hit that like button. The fourth thing that I noticed right out of the gate, and this is something that I debunked early on as well, as all of the videos and the digital marketers and a lot of the strategy for real estate was all around the house and about you as a real estate agent. I started discovering that these cities and suburbs were searched sometimes 10, 12, 15 times a month more in YouTube than they were in Google. That told me, hey, people want to see these cities. They don't want to read about it. And hence, that's why I created the real estate vlog. That's why right there, I've got the logo of me, Channel Junkies. And these guys took it to a whole new level. They have every one of their videos, if you hover over it, outside somewhere. And when you see this, you can notice that they have B-roll in a lot of these. They have the natural elements behind them. This creates natural B-roll. What that does is that increases your average view duration. When the scene is changing or there's something in the background, people's attention starts gravitating to what's in the background, then back to them. And it has been scientifically proven through a lot of analytics and through YouTube that anytime we can, get their attention to something else, whether it's titles, sound effects, and obviously vlogging out in the community, you can see that they actually use little movie clips in a lot of their stuff, but they are constantly outside leveraging the outside world for their natural B-roll. Their average view durations are through the roof, and this is also what's helping their videos rank. It has nothing to do with the amount of views and subscribers. It's all click-through rates and average view durations. So they've got killer thumbnails with big, bright letters that are easy to read, and they are outside shooting these videos, and they have long average view durations. And that right there, is the best recipe for a successful channel. Now, believe it or not, the fifth most important thing about their YouTube channel has nothing to do with their YouTube channel. Again, I've had the privilege to share the stage with these guys and gotten to listen to what they do to prepare their buyers for buying a house in Denver, Colorado. It is second place to none. They are the best. And I've got 11 teams across the country, and we work on this every day. And I would put our Heather Listy in Portland right up there too. But Will and Eli, they do what's called a buyer prezo. If you have not heard it or seen it yet, you need to make sure you reach out to them and at least say, hey, I need to hear this buyer prezo. It's out there on a lot of their YouTube channels. You can go to their Facebook group. It's called The Legit Agents. But you may be turning this video off or not thinking it's important. I'm telling you right now, I've coached thousands of agents. I have YouTube channels that have blown up. They have viral videos. We have hundreds, if not thousands of reach outs and phone calls, and the agent is not closing because of their follow-up and the way that they prepare the buyer. That is the one thing they do better than any other real estate team in the entire world, and that is why they have the #1 real estate YouTube channel. It doesn't have the most views. It doesn't have the most subscribers, but they are closing $3+ million to $6+ million in gross commissions annually from this YouTube channel, and it has to do with the way that they present themselves to their buyers and get them prepared. Now, what does this mean? When these buyers reach out, sometimes they're a month, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months out. They're also not familiar with the real estate industry here. So you really got to start laying the groundwork of, hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. This market is intense. It's crazy. We have, buyers, 50 of them per house. We're going to go in with the strongest offer. I'm going to work diligently with the listing agent to make sure our offer is getting accepted. And they go through this gamut. It's 45 minutes of telling the client exactly what they're going to do for them. And guess what the client does? Oh my gosh, I trust you more than anybody on planet Earth. And that is why they close better than anybody I've ever seen. Again, you can go check them out. Free Facebook group, Legit Agents, or follow Will_Grimes and Eli Schmidt. And we also are partnering with agents just like them. They have partnered with us at EXP together. We are helping all of our agents with their YouTube channels, with their closing, buyer presentations together. So we don't charge you any money, no cost, no splits. You get to join in on a partnership with Will, Eli, myself, Jesse, and learn from us if you only want to go in with video and stop paying for leads. Shoot me an email, info@jacksonwilkie.com, to learn more about that. And these are the videos popping up now that will help you explode your real estate YouTube channel. Start clicking on those and you'll be well on your way. And until the next video, we'll catch you later.